What's going on, guys? I hope you're enjoying yourselves. Today we are going to be continuing with the build of my 2015 STI, and this is the new engine that will be going in very soon. Still a little bit of touch-up things we need to do. I have the old engine sitting right here and a bunch more parts behind me. But today we're gonna be doing some wiring. We got a radium fuel hanger and a one of their DIY relay fuel pump kits. So this is a walbro 450, I think it is. It's been a while since I bought it, but this should be decent enough to help with the FP green spool up and do all those spoolie boy noises. This was a pretty penny, and honestly, I've seen other people too use the stock hangers or hanger. I'm gonna start saying hanger. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people use a stock hanger and modify this fuel pump to fit with the stock hanger, but I was thinking too, I'm eventually, you know, probably gonna be doing dual fuel pumps, so might as well just buy this now, be ready. It's much more simpler, a lot easier to work with, and there's no custom modifications that you need to do. But what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start running the power wire for this relay. There's a lot of wires, could be really confusing and a little overwhelming. But realistically, you have a power ground, you have a power, and then you have a power going to the fuel pump, you have a ground and a trigger wire. The other power wire is not gonna be used. I have the back seat taken out already, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the red wire, obviously for the power. I'm gonna start taking off all these little plastic covers around the side. I'm gonna run my power wire right next to my sub wire, because, you know, I gotta have bass while I'm hitting my vape in my Subaru. Engine is taken out of it, and if you haven't seen the previous videos, no, the head gasket did not blow up. And just you know, I wanted to put a beefier engine into it and then keep that one on the side. So I'm just gonna follow the route that I took for my sub wire, and yeah, there is some little rubber garments back here, but I feel like that would be a real pain to deal with if the engine was in. So I'm trying to make this video for everybody, even if the ones with their engine in. So yeah, so you don't need to take the bumper off. You do need to take off a couple of these clips back here to expose the rubber garment, and which I'll take that off real quick just to use a flathead to take these clips off. Yeah, so that rubber garment, you'll be able to see it. It pops up somewhere up there. You kind of got to lay up in a weird position, but you can see my power wire for my sub. It just tucked up in there. So I will be able to get to it and feed the wire through, and I'll just follow this trim all the way through to the back. So not too difficult to get the power back here. Another thing too is we need to decide where I'm going to put the relay. I was thinking like maybe in this cubby spot, like down here where it's not really, you know, there's a little bit of space. So I'm gonna do it on that side. But I'm talking too much, I feel like. Let's get to running the wire and keep moving on. All right, so you know, I said I was gonna run the wire first, but I want to get all this assembled and put back in, because this comes pre-wired from Radium. So all I have is a power and ground for my fuel pump, and then also I mean, it's kind of reversal, but a power and ground for my fuel level. So I have that already. This plugs and plays. Same thing for the fuel level thing. I forgot what it's called, but I do need to get this off. And there's a few clips on here. The way you get it off, you don't want to break it, but there is a certain way to get it off, and I'll get back to you on that. All right, that was a lot simpler than I thought. So all it is a little tab. You press down on this on the top. So you press it down, and then it literally slides up. That's all I did. I pressed that tab and then I slid it up. And then for the new one, it kind of just rests in here, goes in its little grooves, goes down there, it lines up for the bolt hole, and then that will keep it snug, I think. Yeah, this is pretty sweet. I'm gonna double check the nuts just in case they're not loose. I mean, they're obviously not hand loose or hand tight, so that's good. But next is just plug this in to the power and ground for the fuel pump, and then it comes with these hoses that you can use to fit over the top of the fuel pump, and it came with some hose clamps as well. And these other hose clamps I will use to clamp down the fuel pump on the side. So I'll show you when I get to that. Alright, so I got it somewhat assembled. I realized I forgot to grab a sock for the fuel pump. So I have a couple of fuel pumps laying around. This is a D-Tworks. Obviously, I found out this one doesn't fit. The sock doesn't fit on a Walbro 450. So I'm going to have to buy a new fuel sock, and I can't necessarily assemble this whole thing and get it ready. But I can... Airplane. Alright, so now that the airplane's driving away, or flying away, what I need to do, what I can do at least, is just cut this. And the kit comes with, the kit as in with the radium fuel pump, comes with these connectors. And this is the same one for the fuel pump. Or not the fuel pump, I'm stupid. The fuel level unit. So all I got to do is snip this real quick. Comes with the little pins to crimp this onto the new wire and slap this into the connector, and it connects right up. So it makes it kind of easy. It sucks that you do have to do a little bit of wiring, but it's not too bad. Not too difficult at all. So we'll go ahead and cut this up real quick and slap this on and get this rolling. We got these connected. They're you know, they're in there, and there you go. Now my fuel level sender is connected. Wow. All right, guys. So it is the next day. I got the wires, and I'm trying to mock up where the relay is going to go. Kind of want it to be over there. I took off the factory fuel hanger, and then I still have to run that power wire over and across. So, but before we do that, I also too want to mention that I did get the fuel filter that goes on the bottom of the fuel pump. I'm not going to be running an external pump as of yet. I probably should, but I'm still running the stock fuel lines all the way up through the car. So that's going to be in a later date. But for now, what I need to do is I need to take this apart real quick and get this fuel sock on and shove it back, get all back together, just like this, looking pretty. But yeah, pretty simple. Now this thing is ready to go in. I do need this thing. You need this thing, and I'm unsure if we need that other little plastic clip. All right, so just rested the fuel pump in there. This thing's freaking sweet. That little cover piece doesn't go over it. And you just slap all the bolts down, tighten her down, make sure the seal's on, and we should be good to go. The one thing I'm thinking too is this return line is like bent the complete opposite way. So I'm thinking you know, you can turn these, so I just want to let you guys know, you know, if you need to adjust it or whatever, they're supposed to swivel. So we don't have to bend anything, and the fuel lines will go right on. All right, so now we got that in. Let's go ahead and do some wiring. We got the yellow and green. This is going to be my 12-volt ignition, so this is my trigger that will trigger that relay. And then the blue wire I will wire it to I'll probably put it to like one of these terminals and have a ground for this one. And I'm still trying to figure out where I want to put the ground. And I think I'm going to run it up through and maybe like one of these or one of these bolts or something. There we go. We'll be good. So it has been a little bit, and I got the power wires hooked up for the fuel pump. We have my positive and my ground. I have that all So I got the positive and the ground on the fuel pump, and then also to the two wires hooked up for the fuel, what was that, the fuel level sensor. So all I did is in there was a blue wire on the harness. So I snipped that from there and then extended that blue wire onto the A terminal right here. And then I have a ground for the B terminal, and I have that running back up and coming out right here. So this is my ground. This is a ground for my fuel pump, and then also too I have a ground for the relay that I need to wire up as well. But I got everything hooked up, and then also to the 12-volt trigger. It comes in the kit. It comes with this little adapter, so you don't have to snip or anything. You don't have to snip the wires. You can kind of keep it intact. I was gonna use the same thing for the fuel level sender, but I didn't have it, and I left enough room so I can always reattach that if I ever go back to use the stock harness. But I got this all hooked up. Everything under here is good to go. Like I said, I just tightened out all the bolts. These swiveled, these can swivel and they move, so I connected all my lines, my fuel lines, and this thing is ready to go back on and look just like that. So that's all I got left is a couple of grounds, those 3 grounds, and I think what I'm going to use is one of these bolts down here. Straight to chassis, nice and shiny, looking good. So I'll unbolt these 2 bolts, and I'll probably stick the wire up underneath her. But yeah, I'm probably gonna use that as a ground. But that's pretty much it. And then I do have to wire up in the front, and that's, yeah, I mean, honestly, not too difficult. It does look a little messy right now. Okay, so I got the grounds done, and this is the power wire with the fuse hooked up. It's a 25 amp fuse, and hooked the battery up real quick. Got everything ran. Power wire is hooked up to the relay. I got the all the grounds hooked up too. You can kind of see that. So the grounds are tucked up behind there, nice and snug. And I have it routed fairly nice, so there's not a bunch of wires everywhere. But I do want to make sure that it actually primes and turns on. Obviously the engine's not in, so can't start it, but I do. I want to see if it turns on. It turned it. Sick, dude. All right, it works. Okay, good to go. All right, so that's the only thing that's showing now. Everything else is back to normal, and we continue getting this thing put back together and put the engine back in. So that's gonna end it off for this one. Definitely pretty stoked. Got the fuel pump all wired up. Everything is freaking awesome. We got Nick got shot with a bunch of gas. I just wanted to double check before I put the engine in. I don't know if I needed to do anything, but it was good. Everything works. Everything's good to go, and I'm pretty stoked on that. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave a comment down below, and I'll try my best to answer them, or anyone else too. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.